It goes on here in verse 33 and 34, which is the final part of this section at the end of Matthew chapter 6. But seek you first the kingdom of God and his righteousness, and all these things shall be added to you. In other words, it talked about the darkness of focusing on clothing and drinking and eating, as compared to the light here of seeking first the kingdom of God and his righteousness. And that's the definite comparison. So what I want to do here is talk a little bit about not just the eating and the drinking and the fasting and the giving to the needy. I want to talk about the theme of Christ's message, the entire Sermon on the Mount, and especially what it says here, seek you first the kingdom of God. What does it mean to seek the kingdom of God? I mean, the kingdom of God, when we understand when we understand what the kingdom of God is, and that is the rulership of God's government here on earth and the people living in peace and safety under God's government, we know that that's going to come. But so how can we seek that now in our lives, seeking the kingdom of God? And notice that it's coupled with his righteousness. The kingdom of God cannot be without God's righteousness. So what does that mean? So when we talk about God's righteousness, we're talking about man being made, remember, in Genesis, in the image of God. So we are, God's righteousness is up here. We're made in his image, but we have our unrighteousness, and our goal is to little by little grow into that image of God, into that righteousness of God. And that is why he's put us here, and that's our purpose, and that's where our mind should be, on this righteousness of God. Throughout Matthew and in chapters 5 and 6 here, he keeps coming back to the kingdom. We're talking continually about the kingdom. Remember in the prayer that we looked at in last week's Bible study, thy kingdom come. So keep your mind on the kingdom. And he also said, Christ said in that prayer, your will be done in earth as it is in heaven. So what does that mean when we get down to it and we look at this purpose of God here? Let God's will be done here on earth as it is in heaven. And in Matthew 5 and verse 48, it says, be you therefore perfect. So be you, that's us now, God's people, be you perfect on earth. We're on earth, so be you perfect on earth, even as your Father, which is in heaven, is perfect. So here's the will of God on earth, and as it is in heaven. And in Matthew 5:48 here, it is that we be perfect on earth as the Father is perfect in heaven. So we're beginning to see where Christ is going with the overall theme of this Sermon on the Mount.
Yes, and when we look at the kingdom of heaven being here on earth, I think it's important just to remind people that it is not here yet. I know a lot of Christians believe that the kingdom is here now, but it is not.
Uncover the mystery of Adam and Eve's nakedness. Unravel the ambiguous connection between the Hebrew term for naked and the serpent's subtlety. Join us for this free mini-course and gain a profound new perspective on biblical Hebrew. TheExplanation.com/naked